I've made every team's best player a free agent. I'm going to go ahead and simulate the next 5 seasons and we're going to watch history unfold. But first, we have to see where everyone's headed. Ovi's going to leave the Washington Capitals and he's joined the Anaheim Ducks. Panarin and Kopitar are off to Boston and so is Victor Hedman. So I feel like this is a perfect time to mention the salary cap is off because I want to see some crazy duos. Zach Werenski's returning to Columbus and he's going to be joined by Dougie Hamilton, and the Flames are getting Matthew Tkachuk back. LARKIN's off to the Chicago Blackhawks while Jason Robertson's sticking around in Dallas. Austin Matthews is going to be taking Connor McDavid's spot in Edmonton, and he's also going to be joined by Jack Eichel. Thomas Chabot's headed south to Florida to join the Panthers, and Minnesota is improving the defense with the acquisition of Roman Josi and Jacob Chychrun. Sean Couturier and Nathan McKinnon are teaming up in New Jersey, while Kirill Kaprizov is joining Matt Duchene and Philip Forsberg in Nashville. The Islanders are picking up a nice young piece in Trevor Zegras, while Ottawa speeds up the rebuild, bringing in Sebastian Aho and Sid the Kid. Pittsburgh's making some huge moves, which is bringing in Huberdeau and Marchand. Johnny Hockey's off to St. Louis, and in the process, the Blues are able to hold on to Ryan O'Reilly. Tampa might have lost Victor Hedman, but they got Matthew Barzal and Rasmus Dahlin, so I think they're going to be okay. Vegas needs more star power, so they're going to bring in Patrick Kane to help turn the team around. And Winnipeg, they're going to hold on to Kyle Connor. To round out our final 2 teams, the Washington Capitals are going to survive without Ovi because they've picked up Connor McDavid, and the Seattle Kraken, they're picking up JT Miller, Timo Meier, and Jordan Eberle. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate through the first half of the season, and we'll see how the entire league's looking. So we're about halfway through the season, and the Leafs are currently first in the Atlantic with a 30-10-3 record. The Jets are first in the Central with a 29-8-4 record. The Rangers are first in the Metro with a 25-15-2 record, and the Ducks are first in the Pacific with a 28-11-4 record. And looking at the entire league, Toronto's currently first overall. With 50% of the season complete, Artemi Panarin's leading the way with 24 goals and 38 assists for 62 points, and Sid the Kid, he's tied with Panarin with 62 points consisting of 24 goals and 38 assists. And Mitch Marner, he's going to round out the top 3 with 18 goals and 43 assists for 61 points. Morgan Riley's going to lead all defensemen in points with 7 goals and 35 assists for 42 points, while Hellbuck's picking up 25 wins with a 920 save percentage and a 231 goals against. Now that we have an idea of how everyone's doing, I'm going to simulate to the end of the season and we'll see who wins the Stanley Cup. When the season came to an end, the Toronto Maple Leafs are finishing first in the Eastern Conference with a 52-24-6 record, while the Jets are finishing first in the West with a 55-18-9 record. So that means the Winnipeg Jets are finishing first overall in the entire league. And all they did was bring back Kyle Connor. David Pasternak's leading the entire league in scoring with 44 goals and 59 assists for 103 points. And Sebastian Aho, he's tied with 103 points, consisting of 41 goals and 62 assists. And Austin Matthews is going to come in third with 49 goals and 53 assists for 102 points. Morgan Riley's leading all defensemen in points with 76, consisting of 15 goals and 61 helpers. And Connor Hellbuck's leading all goaltenders in wins with 48, while posting a 918 save percentage and a 245 goals against. When the playoffs came to an end, the Tampa Bay Lightning are winning the Stanley Cup over the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games to complete the three-peat. Jack Eichel of the Edmonton Oilers is leading all players in points with 10 goals and 12 assists for 22 points, while Andrei Vasilevsky's picking up 16 wins with a 941 save percentage and a 177 goals against. He was absolutely dialed in. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, the Kings are jumping from 3-1. So we're entering free agency, and there were some big moves. McDavid's staying in Washington for the next 7 years at $13.2 million per. Austin Matthews is off to Montreal for the next 7 years at a deal that gives him $14.5 million per year. Ovi's going to the Penguins on a 2-year deal worth $8.3 million. Patty Kane's going to Minnesota for $9.5 million per year for 4 years. Werenski's staying in Columbus on a 7-year deal worth $9.2. JT Miller's going to LA for $9.1 million per year for 7 years. Kopitar is going to the Canucks on a 2-year deal worth $7.1 million per year. Jack Eichel staying in Edmonton on a 7-year deal worth $8 million per. Ryan O'Reilly's going to the Rangers on an $8.7 million per year deal for 3 years. Pavelski's off to the Islanders on a 2-year deal worth $6.4 million. Chabot's staying in Florida on a 7-year deal worth $8.7 million, and Dahlin's staying in Tampa on a 5-year deal worth $5.2 million. So now that we know where all the important players have gone, I'm going to simulate halfway through the season and see how the league has changed. Through about 42 games, the Boston Bruins are sitting with a 26-13-5 record, which is good enough for first in the Atlantic. The Avs are leading the Central with a 23-16-4 record, while the Pittsburgh Penguins have a 27-7-7 record, which is good enough for first in the Metro. And to round out the 4 divisions, the Ducks with a 25-15-4 record are first in the Pacific. So that means the Pittsburgh Penguins are currently leading the NHL with a 27-7-7 record. Currently leading all scorers is Bergeron with 61 points, consisting of 20 goals and 41 assists, and David Pasternak's not too far behind with 26 goals and 33 helpers for 59 points, and Leon Draisaitl is going to come in third with 28 goals and 26 assists for 54 points. Charlie McAvoy is currently leading all defensemen in points with 45, consisting of 11 goals and 34 assists, while Carter Carter Hart's picked up 26 wins with a 927 save percentage and a 207 goals against. Now that we have an idea of how everyone's doing, I'm going to simulate to the end of the season and we'll see who wins the cup. When the playoffs came to an end, the Seattle Kraken are being swept by the New Jersey Devils in the Stanley Cup final. And if you're wondering who led the entire league in scoring and how everyone finished, that footage was lost. Also known as I forgot to show it, so my bad. Crosby led all postseason scores with 14 goals and 14 assists for 28 points. No clue how he ended up on New Jersey. And Blackwood, 16 wins with a 907 save percentage and a 276 goals against. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, Calgary is jumping from 2-1. Since the salary cap is turned off, a lot of players are extended before free agency, so our two massive signings are Paul Stastny to the Kings on a 1-year deal and JVR to the Penguins on a 2-year deal. Other than that, there is nothing notable. So we're heading into year 3, everything's looking different, and low-key, I kind of want to see Ovi win a cup with the Penguins. I think that would be funny. So we'll simulate halfway through the season and see how everything's looking. Through the first half of the season, Tampa is currently leading the Atlantic with a 26-16-4 record, and the Winnipeg Jets are dominating with a 34-11-2 record, and that's given them first in the Central. The New Jersey Devils continue to roll with a 31-9-3 record, and they're first in the Metro, and the Ducks are rounding out the 4 divisions with a 23-16-5 record, and they're first in the Pacific. So that means the Winnipeg Jets are currently first overall in the entire league. Leon Draisaitl is leading all scorers with 20 goals and 41 helpers for 61 points. Jack Eichel 21 goals, 39 assists for 60 points, and Evgeny Malkin's rounding out the top 3 with 24 goals and 35 assists for 59 points. Drew Doughty's leading all defensemen in points with 5 goals and 34 assists for 39 points, and Connor Hellebuyck's picking up 27 wins with a 916 save percentage and a 246 goals against. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the end of the season, and honestly, I want to see Ovi win a cup with the Penguins. That would just be too funny. When the season came to an end, the Devils are finishing first in the East with a 58-19-5 record, while the Jets are finishing first in the West with a 55-22-5 record, so that means the New Jersey Devils are first overall in the entire league. Ovi led all scorers with 107 points consisting of 50 goals and 57 assists, while Bergeron wasn't too far behind with 106 points consisting of 34 goals and 72 assists, and Leon Draisaitl, he wasn't too far behind as well with 41 goals and 64 assists for 105 points. Cale Makar is leading all defensemen with 77 points consisting of 17 goals and 60 helpers, while Blackwood's picking up 47 wins with a 912 save percentage and a 242 goals against. When the playoffs came to an end, the Pittsburgh Penguins are winning the Stanley Cup over the St. Louis Blues in 5 games. That means Alexander Ovechkin won a Stanley Cup with the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Never would have expected that one. Jake Guentzel led all postseason scores with 24 points consisting of 4 goals and 20 helpers, while Tristan Jarry is picking up 16 wins with a 923 save percentage and a 223 goals against. Taking a look at the draft lottery results, Dallas is getting the first overall pick. Once again, it was a pretty boring free agency with Kopitar going to the Avs on a 1-year deal and then Blake Wheeler heading to the Panthers on a 1-year deal. So we're heading into our second last season, and now that Ovi's won a cup with the Penguins, I kind of want to see Crosby win a cup with Washington. It would only be right. Also, if you've made it this far into the video and haven't already, make sure to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 14k subs by the end of the month, and every single sub helps a ton. So like usual, we'll simulate halfway through the season and see how the league's looking. Toronto's off to a decent start with a 29-13-1 record, so that means they're first in the Atlantic. The Avs are first in the Central with a 29-8-3 record, while the Oilers are leading the Pacific with a 25-14-3 record. So that means the Avs are first in the league. For some reason, I forgot to check the Metro, but it's the New Jersey Devils. They're currently second in the entire league. Leading all scorers so far is Jack Eichel with 59 points consisting of 19 goals and 40 assists, while Leon Draisaitl is picking up 21 goals and 36 assists for 57 points to come in second, and rounding out the top 3 is going to be Mitch Marner with 50 points consisting of 11 goals and 39 assists. Cale Makar is leading all defensemen once again with 5 goals and 40 assists for 45 points, and Marc-Andre Fleury's picked up 24 wins with a 926 save percentage and a 216 goals against. So I don't think Crosby's going to be winning with Washington, seeing as he isn't even on Washington, but hey, maybe he'll get traded, you never know. We'll simulate to the end of the season and see what happens. When the season came to an end, the Devils are finishing first in the East once again with a 55-21-6 record, while the Avs are finishing with a 57-19-6 record, first in the West and first in the entire league. Jack Eichel is finishing as our top point scorer with 110 points consisting of 32 goals and 78 assists, while Austin Matthews is coming in second with 55 goals and 45 assists for 100 points, and Leon Draisaitl is going to round out the top 3 with 42 52 goals and 57 assists for 99 points. Cale Makar is leading all defensemen, but he's also coming in 4th in scoring with 97 points consisting of 15 goals and 82 assists, while Marc-Andre Fleury is picking up 49 wins with a .915 save percentage and a .250 goals against. When the playoffs came to an end, the Toronto Maple Leafs are winning the Stanley Cup over the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games. Not only did the Leafs win a cup, they did it without Austin Matthews, and they beat a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final. Never would have expected that. Leon Draisaitl led all postseason scorers with 24 points consisting of 8 goals and 16 assists, while Darcy Kemper's picking up 16 wins with a .929 save percentage and a .202 goals against. Ottawa's going to be the lucky recipient of the first overall pick as they're jumping from 10-1 in the draft lottery results, and the biggest move in free agency was Ryan O'Reilly heading to the Jets on a 2-year deal worth $4 million per year. Entering the final year, I want to be surprised. I want to see a team that hasn't won a Stanley Cup win one, or I want to see someone get their first Stanley Cup. So with that being said, we'll simulate halfway through the season and see how the league's looking. Halfway through the season, things are looking a lot different. Buffalo's leading the Atlantic with a 29-13-1 record. The Dallas Stars are leading the Central with a 26-12-4 record. The Oilers are leading the Pacific with a 21-20-3 record, and the Philadelphia Flyers are dominating a 34-7-1 record, first in the Metro and first overall in the entire league. Jonathan Huberdeau is leading all scorers with 57 points consisting of 20 goals and 37 assists. Austin Matthews has picked up 30 goals and 25 assists for 55 points, and McDavid's tied with Matthews with 28 goals and 27 assists for 55 points. Thomas Chabot's leading all defensemen with 9 goals and 27 assists for 36 points, while Carter Hart's picking up 28 wins with a .920 save percentage and a .233 goals against. So I'm honestly really surprised that Philly's #1 in the league so far. I'm going to simulate to the end of the season, and we'll see if they can keep up that pace. Well, they definitely kept that pace up as they're finishing first in the East with a 60-19-3 record, while the Jets are finishing first in the West with a 50-25-7 record. And of course, with a 60-19-3 record, the Philadelphia Flyers are first overall in the entire league. Jonathan Huberdeau is leading the way with 110 points consisting of 31 goals and 79 assists, while Austin Matthews is picking up 59 goals and 50 assists for 109 points. And Patrick Kane, he's going to dominate this season. 55 goals, 50 assists, 105 points. And Cale Makar, 11 goals, 61 assists for 72 points. Mackenzie Blackwood's leading all goaltenders in wins with 49 wins with a .914 save percentage and a .250. Taking a look at the playoffs, the Avs are winning the cup over the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. So this guy's leading all postseason scores, 8 goals and 19 assists for 27 points. Tulupov. Probably said that wrong, but who is this guy? If this isn't a surprise, I don't know what is. And Michael DiPietro, 16 wins with a .942 save percentage and a .179 goals against. Definitely wasn't expecting that. So by putting every team's best player in free agency, I feel like the league became a bit more balanced. But yet, some teams still got worse. I'm looking at you, Arizona. Nothing can save your franchise.